we're here. What's good? I've got you guys. I got to do the split screen because my Android Auto doesn't work on this car when I want it to. It works when it wants to, and that's why computers suck because they don't work on your schedule. They work on their schedule. You know, just like a human being has to work on their schedule. Because, you know, if my head hurts, I can't do something for you using my mind. If my back hurts, I can't do something for you that requires heavy lifting. Right? You know? And so, why do I need a machine? I could just get myself and be reliable. Anywho, I'm on my way home from work, and hopefully I will be in good shape by about 8 o'clock to go live and do the thing. I'm pretty fucking tired. I might be yawning through the stream, but I want to get my shit out of the way. I want to get through it. I don't want to take 10 million years, right? Some of these books were long fucking reads, right? And then they often don't have to feel like a long read, and then they ultimately turn into a pretty long read. So I'm just here, somewhere north of Timbuktu, in the middle of the state. Oh, it looks like that's a mosque back there. Usually I don't see mosques. Yes, the Islamic Association. Alright. It's got a dome and whatnot. Yeah, you usually don't see them. Not too many mosques, to my knowledge, in the New England area. So yeah. I've been trying to keep it easy on my disposition with the ICE situation since my various rants and raids, because I also, on top of what I believe in, I also know that the pendulum's going to keep swinging. There's going to be, you know, new details, irrelevant details and everything else, right? Because at the end of the day, when it comes to everything that you're learning about any of these people, is that they're being character assassinated after they have been assassinated. It's effectively it. It's just like, you're dead and your character's dead. That's what they're doing. It's like they're trying to, you know, bury the soul with the body, if you will. You know, it's a furtherance of understanding the psychosis. I guess you could say promulgated on to these people, right? There was a you know, you had the sadism. I've spoken of that before. The sadism on the left that revealed itself. I mean, it was already there, but just for this particular incident of such a statured character that had won a lot of arguments. See, the problem with Charlie Kirk is that he won a lot of arguments that he was wrong about. When two parties argue and neither party is correct, the only person that wins is the one with the stronger command of the human language, and it has nothing to do with what you fucking know or know to be true. Why do you think, whether you're a Talmudic Jew or not, you go through your whole thing with bar mitzvah, that life, oh my God, he had to call me. He had to call me in the middle of the stream. I get back to you, man. I'll get back to you. I'm driving. It's a legitimate excuse. All right. Shoot. Where was I? Shoot. Because it's like, it's semi-work related, but my nervous system just can't serve like that. Sorry, I'm gonna have to suffer the loss of whatever that was. I'm living with my purpose at the moment. Thank you. Call him back. He has no idea what I'm doing, and it doesn't matter if he did. Anyway, the character assassination stuff, right? Because they like on basic principles of rules of engagement with unruly Americans in a domestic situation. There's a lot of context, right? And it depends on whether you agree with the principle or not. The principle is the federal government overreaching in the state that they are in. And the answer is yes, because the state is not cooperating and the federal government can't bring a good reason to them. And so they're just doing it anyway. If they had a good reason they could bring to the state, then it doesn't matter because they can run that reason by a judge that can override the state. Right? Hold on 1 second. Send it over anyways. I'll confirm it stands. Today was the last day. There, they all set from that power gun forwards. Right. Cool. All right, that's good. All right, cool. He texted me with what he was going to measure me with and everything. He said everything was killer. All right, so I don't have to come back to this place Monday, which is both good and bad because A, I don't like the commute, but B, I would have liked to continue doing that kind of work anyway. It's been a big shoveling job. Construction site is a storage facility and like a foot and a half of snow on the roof of this of like a storage facility that's under construction. So I'm on a roof and I'm kicking the snow off the side of the roof, and that's the gig. And I guess they don't need more guys. I guess he'll have guys to do the second half of the roof next week or something. Or maybe it's because it's supposed to snow really soon and it probably just wouldn't be worth it. Probably something along those lines. So anyway, so on the first principles of you've got a basic 10th Amendment violation in this respect, right? Then I kind of consider when you do the military marching down the street during peacetime, kind of like, I don't want to hear it about like covert martial law, like either martial law or not martial law. I'm not playing Animal House with double-decker secret probation. Like, we're not playing that fucking game with the conspiracy people, because all of that ends up sounding like an apology for what they're doing on some fucking level, and it ends up undercutting superior arguments about natural law and when the government steps out of a duty within natural law. Let's see, almost. Yeah, gotta keep an eye on that. Probably gonna miss it anyway, just because my stupid talk. I got a mile to this. Gotta catch. And so it's not just the overreach, it's also the it's also the going, like, there's a bunch of fucking situations with cops, even with fucking federal agents, where shit gets can get really, like, ugly, when it's just like one or two agents and like one guy, and this is under regular agent work, because I know a thing or two about this from personal testimony that I know confirmably. All right. And like, there's a lot of ICE guys that up until this administration, 47, not even 45's administration, that that they both hate the orders that they're under, and they're feeling really, and they're feeling their organization is in this disgraceful fucking position, right? That's how a great deal of these guys feel, because it's doing this shit. This shit is not in order. This shit is not in alignment. This is not within right action, because the situation is living on hearsay. It's completely living on hearsay. It's using the trends of the past in that respect. And yeah, it wants to go in there and get them, you know? Well, like, there's other ways you can hold the state of Minnesota accountable for not letting them go in and get them. Plenty of ways, and if they leave the sanctuary that they're in, they're going to get fucking caught connecting over, like, if they're gonna get, like, covertly tracked, which there's probably that going on, which in the case of, well, you covertly are living in my country, you know? And we want to fucking get you out for trespassing and transgressing on our fucking lands with no understanding of who you are. We don't know your family or what, like, and I don't mean this in like, oh, why aren't you on the public register? I mean, like, we just simply just don't know you. Like, people know each other. Like, hi, smile, you knock on the front door, it's like, hey, can I come in? I got a casserole. Did you bring a casserole when you snuck across the border? You know, we people in America, we like it when you bring a gift when you come. You know? Don't just show up, like, and fucking, you know, shovel my driveway and ask for fucking money. That's barely working. It's tantamount to begging, and you didn't ask me for whatever, and now you're gonna extract it from me because you did the work anyway. Or you're gonna try to and act like that's how it works. Right? This kind of thing. Alright? So, that's part of my point. I am, if traffic's getting worse, we'll change the route. In 62 miles, yeah, to Wilbur Cross, right? Yeah, oh, okay, I see what it's asking me. Okay, that's cool. I know where I'm going. We're good. Alright. I became very disappointed with the fact that I was going to watch the side that I felt like was coming into agreement with many principles that I believed in. I watched them, you know, fail to uphold first principles, and they allowed witnessing the worst, which, I mean, what are you gonna? It was so enormous. It was so many people in university campuses, and the fight certainly had to happen, but and that's why I was supportive on the right for a long time, and there's, and because, ultimately I thought the right was going to be more, was just happening to become more like me, per se. As far as, general political values. Because I haven't changed in certain respects. I've changed in the sense of how I've grown, right? I don't have the exact same opinions on certain things. But as far as character judgment, it's just like I'm watching people antagonize people that, like, I stopped picking on people for the most part a while back. It's just like, hey guys, the battle's fucking over. Why are you still picking on these people? Right? And let's not act like the right didn't keep, being vindictive before Charlie Kirk was taken out. Because they're blood drunk on their fucking victory. And they've given themselves some sort of permission to pick on the easiest target, which is, the people with serious mental health problems on the left. And then if it's not a mental health problem, they're just picking on them for anything. It's just like, oh, look at him. He was really fucking angry at all those fucking agents on his streets. It's just like, where the fuck, whose fucking side? You would have been on the British side at the Boston Massacre. The Boston Massacre would have happened, it would have been just like, what's wrong with you? Just pay your fucking stamp tax. It's like, leave those British soldiers alone. They're there to protect you. What are you gonna do with when the Indians come? Nah. Right? Like this. This is the horse. That's the horse shit they were, they were selling for fucking, British supremacy, necessary supremacy over you. It's just like, oh, you thought you were gonna be like an overseas part of England? Oh, is that what you thought? You're adorable. Oh, you thought you were going to have a seat in Parliament? That's what the British did, right? And right now, they're just like, oh, Minnesota. Oh, you think you have 10th Amendment rights? You silly fuck. That's what they're fucking doing. Go read the full fucking Declaration of Independence again. Go read it again, okay? Some of the things were there through Obama, a little bit on Biden. Trump got rid of a lot of things that were attributing to some of those fucking grievances. Now he's re-contributing to those fucking grievances. Still making it better in other ways, but failing abysmally in others. And, and even fucking like, oh, he's taken out of context some time. Yeah, lots of times. Unfortunately, some of these times, it's just like, you need to give me a new economic theory here, man. Where are you getting this idea that this is good for, for everybody else? Like, like, I don't know the details, but I heard a thing about raising the price of housing on purpose. To serve, I guess, the real estate market. And it's just like, that sounds like a really contrived, not free market move. And, listen, you want to be a fucking sycophant of the president, fine, but, if your president is betraying what seems to be the party platform, the party ideals, the party has a lot of fucking power to force that change, or to force it to go in the other direction, forced to go in all sorts of places, right? And the only reason why you would lose that is if you've left it all up to the leaders of that party, and you have weak leaders in that party who can't handle whatever way that fucking Trump fucking does business behind closed doors. So there's a great deal that I just I have to process everything through the scales of Libra, right? In my Vedic, I'm a Libra ascendant. I'm constantly evaluating pros and cons, lefts and rights, in all manner of things. You know, Libra is a highly Libra's got a certain binary processing to it because it is the scales. It was very wise of him. It was very wise. Hey, there we go. We're back. Sorry about that. I was saying that Mr. Preddy was wise to bring a gun to the protest. He was very foolish to not secure it. He did not secure. Right? He probably, he seems like he had a very kind of personally lone actor kind of thing to him, right? Like, he goes out there, he may not necessarily have a bunch of friends. He's just he might be picking up on the zeitgeist of the situation, right? Because, did anybody know this guy? Where's all the dudes coming out of the woodworks being like, yeah, man, I knew Alex. He was a wild guy. He was a wild guy. Yeah, it's just like him to fucking do that. He was at that other protest or whatever, right? They want to say, oh, he was an agitator. I was just like, no, he's agitated. An agitator is actually extraordinarily calm because they're not the one to be agitated. He has been agitated, which is why he's in an agitated state and is being aggressive or aggressive. Aggressive, agitate, aggravate, agitate. So he's not the provocateur. He's been provoked. Who provoked him? Who provoked him? Masked men in heavy arms, driving around in undisclosed rental cars of all nonsensical sorts. Not even professionals. None of these men look like they're fucking professionals. I don't. When do we ever see ICE in a situation recently where they've successfully grabbed people off of these sweeps, right? Like grab people that they were looking for. They're not looking for anybody. They're looking for everybody. They're pruning. They're pruning the population. And they are, the fucking stupid thing is that the Papers, Please thing is probably a bigger problem than racism, right? Because you can't call it racist. It's just nobody's illegal, right? There's no such thing as an illegal person. Well, except for somebody who is serving felony time. Those are illegal people, which is why we keep them behind bars. Now, the left has the problem of not being quite on point with reality, and that is unfortunately a reflection of what's happening on the state level. But the right way to do things, if you want to fucking reach reconciliation, is to handle things on the government level. Which brings up what I brought up earlier, which is that there's been nothing where the federal government has had dead to rights legal justification to go after the state government at all. It's just out of compliance with state law. Federal government should be complying with state law. It's why there's always this cooperation. It's why there's always, we're waiting for the governor to say he needs help. Why is Trump always just like, no, it's not necessary. We're waiting, they'll listen, then we'll bring the guys in, take care of the situation. That's not what they're doing here. And there's no fucking emergency. The only emergency that's emergent is being caused by them. Right? There's not, we live in this internet age. Exactly how many fucking journalists, independent online journalists are doing the thing, and when I say how many, to me, I think about okay, maybe there's 12 professional guys out there showing us some stuff with their videos, and that's a lot. That's a lot. That encourages things, but it's just if they're journalist types, what about just some witness who uploaded what they witnessed, right? They don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I'm just reporting this. This is just my report. I don't even know if you can call this news. I'm just letting you know this is bad right here, right? I wouldn't want to be around this. It's a problem, right? That's all they know. Who came over here? King's something. I don't think I know any of you guys, but hi, whoever you are. So, either way, it's literally nonsense that anybody had to die. It's literally nonsense that people, had to get smashed so bad that they fucking lost an eye. Right? Because you're trying to make an example out of several of them as a deterrent. How the fuck does this make us any more better in who we are from the fucking Ayatollah? And right now, a whole bunch of people are that are hearing that, whether now or now, relatively speaking to when you catch this video, is really fucking coming at me what the fuck? That's some bullshit, cheap whatever. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because I guarantee you, you have no idea what's going on in Iran. I mean, we think we do. Under my assumption of what I think is going on in Iran, which I do think is obviously worse than here, and that it's not right that it's happening at all, right? It's not right that it's happening at all in America, and if it's, whether it's better or worse in Iran, it's not right that it's happening there. What if it's not happening at all, and that's just an excuse for the strikes? Right? Maybe the Ayatollah is really hiding, not because the people are upset, but he needed the people to be upset as an excuse for him to go into hiding. Maybe. Right? As far as we know, there's a big sea change that's beyond compare happening over there, where there's no way that the Shia Islamic thing is going to fucking be the predominant spirit cast over Persia. Right? From a people that have been yearning to have their culture and their traditions back, and their relationship with the rest of the world, their relationship with I don't like saying modernity, because what's modern now is atrocious, but what was the modernity that was here not that long ago. And I'm just sick and tired of the every time we do something, it flips. Every time we do something, everything flips. So, I mean, like, granted, see, they're trying to play this game where they can trying to make the Democrats using victimhood again to try and sell that they're the good guys to get the vote going. I mean, like, and it works. I mean, like, people have no idea who Mamdani is, and they vote for him. And a lot, can't tell you how much with the fucking not thinking public. I can understand. I can understand when men aren't thinking, because I've just been, I've just been around so many men that don't think like me, and understanding baseline of what is I'm just like as a man as any other man, versus women, and the feminine angle is so ridiculously powerful, and I don't know how many voices in the media need to be women, but I do know how much the entire atmosphere of things has to end up being something the ladies can go for, right? And that's just a deep down internal decision, and if they know they can't change men and by force, and they'll accept whatever big grandiose thing puts men in a position that compromises them enough for them to feel safe. Why do you think nurses did what they did in 2020? You know, some fucking right-winger on fucking X fucking posted the stay home save lives fucking thing around the registered nurse photo for Freddie. And I reposted that. Usually I just comment on X because I don't want to like boost a post. But I said, all right, this was like a blue check marked account. So I said, you know, I'm going to repost this because he doesn't have blue check mark. You know, I have no idea who he is, and I want everybody to see this in context to what I'm about to say about it. And I said, I forgive him for his ignorance in the past. And I commend his bravery today. Because to me, that's a gesture of breaking a cycle. Because I am listening to many people in my country invoke tyranny. And how do I evoke freedom? And that's one of the only ways to do it, right? You know, you've, you know, these, you know, anybody who, see, too many Christians can't fucking do that. It takes too many calories for them to try and be better people. So they don't want to. They hate the idea of it. They just want to live off of a prior transgression that was never done to them personally by him and was irrelevant to the time, place, and circumstances of what is happening now, and say that because he made my life difficult then, I am glad that he got comeuppance, even if he didn't deserve these comeuppance. Or you think he did deserve these comeuppance, because naturally, COVID protocols caused a lot of suffering, killed a lot of people, so on and so forth. And maybe he lived his entire life with no indication that he was doing something like somebody would tell him this, that, and the other thing, and you know, he completely ignored, and he died that way, right? Fine. Several levels of ignorance, but when it comes to people that don't know any better, they can be dead wrong in one respect and totally right in another. And I think he was totally right, because I don't want to, quote, abolish ICE, but the federal government has put ICE in the wrong. And don't get me started on the personal accountability of these people pulling these fucking triggers. All right? And, you know, like, if you're going to be an ICE apologist, then you need to fucking start talking about why are these men so bad at their fucking job. They're bad at their job when they don't have an antagonizer, right? And they're bad at their jobs because this is not Border Patrol protocol. ICE does not do Border Patrol protocol. It was the worst fucking move. The absolute worst. Because it weaponized the agency when the agency is a utility for what gets done by the fucking cops in coordination with the fucking casework of the lead investigative agent on the matter of what they're looking for and doing. What's going on? I see you, Violence. And who's that? Is that Nicholas? Yeah, what's up? All right. Ooh. Yeah, this is a lot of traffic. So yeah, man, you just like you're just not living in the real world if you can't. It's just like, I got old friends who I didn't want to fucking talk to as 2020 progressed and I saw what they were doing. But not everybody is just some fucking agitator who is going to be a fucking criminal at large danger to society. You know? And an improper fucking argument's an improper fucking argument. If you've got nothing, you've got nothing. And unfortunately, the Trump administration's got nothing on Minnesota. Because, you know, with the fraud being what it is, they haven't gone after the state itself. They can't even look at the state and say, hey, we found all this fraud, and be like, hey, you gonna do something? It's just like, no, well, listen, all this fraud is determined that we've got all this evidence of illegal aliens, and there's a whole fucking thing you can do that brings you to a fucking court that can compel the state of Minnesota as a part of our fucking republic to fucking cooperate. None of that was done. None of that was done. And if you understand those first principles, you can break their argument, right? It's just like you can't win an argument with an Abrahamic person unless you can break into first principles. And if your first principles is fucking Jewish scrolls, you're never going to fucking beat them in an argument because you're forever trapped in their matrix. This is the same thing. This is the same thing. You know, in places where the Constitution doesn't seem to provide an answer, you go to the Declaration of Independence. If that's not good enough, you hit the Federalist Papers. Federalist Papers combined with the Declaration of Independence should cover everything that is baseline fucking human rights, freedoms, liberties, and dignities. Federalist and anti-Federalist Papers. Let's make that clear. Driving through a tunnel, the tunnel should have signal though, so we should be okay. But if I get cut off, I'll be back in a sec. Good. So yeah, like, because if you can cite from all those angles, and especially if you can cite Supreme Court rulings, hell, you might even need to find some state court rulings, state law, state constitutions. Each state has a constitution modeled after the U.S. Constitution in some way. So, the character assassination of these people, because they need a profile of believability for their case. They don't want you to have any kind of revolutionary it's like, listen, I'm not getting fucking behind their fucking movement. But I am condemning the actions of the state against them. That's all I'm doing, is condemning the actions of the state against them, and acknowledging that they were within their rights. Not once did he ever pull the gun out. Maybe he never intended to use it, he just wanted to have a loaded gun for an even more extreme thing. He maybe wanted to be at their mercy. He maybe was prepared to die. Maybe he wanted to, maybe he was a willing sacrifice for the cause because he wanted to commit to this thing that looked foolish, because in his mind, it's just like, let the fucking ice kill me, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to do anything worthy of being killed, and my death will be part of the inspiration of the revolution. And you know what? I don't know what his fucking intentions were, but it's important that no matter who the fuck it is, we never betray our rights, freedoms, and liberties because of how we prefer our politics. All right, so I think I've made my big case. I will see you guys later. Hopefully I'll be able to go live at 8 or so. Depends on when I get home, and then I want to freaking eat. I probably want to do a nice little meditation set. I gotta do a few things when I get home. I gotta have a reset. Like, I'm probably gonna be a little bit sore by the time I finally get to fucking settled in the house because of, it's been 2 days of brutal snow shoveling. The weather is like in the teens. I think maybe yesterday it got like to the high 20s, but like today it was like 9. Single digit day. Day started at 7. I got a little bit hotter, but it's warmer now than it was this morning. But anyway, thanks so much for tuning in now, and I should see you tonight. Peace.